it live. Okay, I'd like to call the Ravenna City Council meeting for September 2nd to order. The first item on the agenda is a moment of meditation and silence. Could you join me with the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Ms. Gregor, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Kelfi?
Here.
Ms. West? Here. Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Ms. Wood? Mr. Maravich?
Here.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Here.
So this is the first hybrid, in-person, virtual meeting we've had since the pandemic. We had hoped Ms. Wood would be joining us. We're still hopeful she may still join us. So I'm not going to ask to have her excused because she may actually join. Just with that said, moving on into the agenda. The next item is delegations from the public. Do we have anybody who wishes to address council tonight? We didn't have anybody in advance. Come on up, please give us your name. And, we normally like to keep these 3 to 5 minutes or so.
I'll keep it under 2.
Oh, even better.
Hello, thank you for allowing me to speak for a few minutes this evening. My name is Mike Roberto, and my address is 131 Overlook Drive in Kent, Ohio. I suspect you might be wondering why a guy from Kent is over here at your city council meeting speaking before you this evening. Well, I'm really here to listen and learn more than to speak, but I thought it'd be important to introduce myself in case you were wondering who the guy in the striped shirt was. As mentioned earlier, my name is Mike Roberto, and I'm running for the 2026 open state Senate seat in District 27. Now, Senate District 27 includes all of Portage County and portions of Summit and Geauga counties. I've recently retired after 34 years as a teacher, a coach, and a school administrator, the last 5 as superintendent of the Aurora City Schools. And I'm running for a state Senate first because I want to continue to build on my 34 years of public service, but also because I have concerns. In particular, I have concerns about education and specifically the erosion of support of public education in Columbus. I also have concerns about the economy pertaining to affordable housing and property taxes. And like you, others you might know, you have concerns about losing access to health care. So I suspect I share some of the same concerns that many of you have. However, to be sure that that is the case, I'm here tonight and planning on attending future meetings when able to better understand the concerns as well as the good things taking place in Ravenna. So after the meeting, I'll be sure to share my contact information with each of you, should you like to keep the lines of communication open with me. Thank you, and I appreciate you allowing me time to introduce myself. Thank you.
Mike, you did forget one of the big things.
I am born and raised in Ravenna. 1987 graduate, proud graduate of the public schools. So it's nice to be back.
Thank you. All right, well, I've gotten word that I believe Ms. Wood is, oh, there she is. Glad you could join us. Looks like you're in a very, oh, okay, and we can hear you too.
No.
It's a little low.
A little?
All right, is that any better?
That's much better. Thank you.
You might just have to get a close-up of my face. I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right, moving on, the next item is approval of the agenda. Before I ask for a motion, does anybody wish to take anything out of the consent agenda to put it in the regular agenda? Hearing no one. I'm sorry? We'll leave it on first reading.
Okay.
So, is it in the consent agenda?
Yes.
Oh, then let's take it out of the consent agenda. We'll put it in the regular agenda at the end, and we'll just leave it on first reading. We don't have the contract yet. Okay, then can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, the next item is the consent agenda. You can see the various items that are typically in there, approval of various minutes and communications, and then the few ordinances and the one resolution. Do we have a let me read the special. Is there a motion to dispense with the requirements of the city charter and the revised code of Ohio with reference to reading on 3 different days and adopting emergency clauses and approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Let's get a roll call for that.
Mr. Kelfi?
Yes.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Ms. West?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Okay, next item on the agenda is our invited city official. This evening, we have Mr. Finney from Building and Engineering Department. Would you want to sit there and give?
Yeah, no, I'm fine right here, if you don't mind.
Okay, proceed.
In 2025, our project valuation was just under $8 million of construction projects, and just over $3 million was from grants. In the last 15 years, we've been awarded nearly $12.5 million in grants and have constructed nearly $39 million of engineering-related projects. And that's directly coming from my department, the engineering department. Not private or commercial, just our work, actually. The water tank should be complete around Thanksgiving. As you can see, the steel tank is being built around the tank. When it gets to a certain point, they'll lift it up, set it in place, and then they'll weld the insides of the tank together. The lid will be on last, and they'll obviously be painting it soon, too. Chestnut Street Lift Station project is underway. Flow meters have been installed in the sanitary sewers in certain locations to determine the, call it I&I, inflow and infiltration, groundwater in essence, getting in. We don't worry about I&I for storm pipes, but sanitary we do because it eventually gets to the treatment plant. For us to determine the size of the pipe that's discharged from the waste, from Chestnut Street, we need the I&I calculations, and these will be moved around. Of course, once they were installed, we haven't had a good rain, so we're waiting for rain again. The SCADA bids open tomorrow. I've delayed the bid opening a couple times for clarifications of questions. We do believe the bids will come in much less than anticipated. Once we ironed out some of the items, for instance, a server, the plans called for, the specifications called for servers. We don't need servers in today's digital age. Just desktops will work just fine. So that's just one way to save some money. There's been many ways we've saved some money. Storm project, as you see, will be bid mid-September. We continue to monitor the outfalls of the city storm sewer to make sure they're free and clear of obstructions. That was something that hadn't been being done in the past, which, again, we will continue to do. Waterline project is well underway, putting hydrants back into service that have been taken out of service for various reasons. It could have been bad valves, bad pipes, undersized water lines, that sort of thing. Of course, replacing water lines also. One of the big proponents of portions of this project is reconnecting the water line under the railroad tracks south of Freedom Street. So the city maintains 4 crossings for the water, 4 water line crossings under the railroad, one at Lakewood Road, Diamond, Chestnut, and then this Freedom. It wasn't too long ago that Freedom and Chestnut were out of service. which leaves us very vulnerable to only having 2 crossings. So we fixed Chestnut Street, now we're obviously fixing the Freedom Street
And
crossing.
it's water line that we're
Water line, yes,
replacing?
correct. It was a bad construction, bad design many years ago. It had leaked so many times that they just shut it off. So we're putting it back in service. The cemetery bridge has been replaced. Once the cemetery board accepted the design, it took us 3 days. It sat for, 8 years, I think. Very frustrating. So there's a few things that need to be done, but it's primarily done. Concrete's poured, sidewalk is poured. The cemetery board will decide or approve on a specific handrail. It's,
I know we were going to try that.
that was the original intent, but it's turned into Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
There's just not enough steel to even do anything. So I think one of the suggestions is posts with the cables in between, so from a distance, you just look right through the cables, you don't see them. I would not install a standard handrail like on a residential deck. I think that would be very unsightly. If we could get by with split rail fence, that might be another option, which would look nice, kind of fit. Eventually, when we have rain, the ponds will fill back up. So. We have a new floor plan for the safety building showing the city hall in between, and it's the first cut, just to see if it fit. What the dollar figure added to it is in the neighborhood of about $5 million. I will be discussing that at the subcommittee meeting next week. Kevin Kuhlman is underway with their new facility, and VA Clinic is also broke ground and installing foundations. Annex roof started today, and it's very noisy and loud and kind of obnoxious to work underneath the roof being replaced. I've made contact with Norfolk Southern, and talking to their representative from the real estate division, they told us to make an offer in writing for the property behind McDonald's, beside McDonald's. So the mayor and I will eventually get together and possibly have a tracking sheet allowing the mayor to make an offer to negotiate.
Didn't they at one time say that they were going to give it to us?
No. No, I informally made an offer, and they said it was worth quite a bit more.
Okay.
I didn't agree with them, and I upset the man, I think. So,
Is that the same railroad that is in charge of the tracks that run just north of town, the bike hike trail? Different railroad.
correct. Norfolk Southern, the one that crashed a train a couple years ago?
Okay.
That group. So property maintenance, we don't have resolution for property maintenance. I receive emails from council and from residents asking for help or for certain individuals and stuff. So you guys do receive Dawn Rose's monthly reports. And on that monthly report, it shows the status of certain things, the fact that he sent it to Mr. Semino for court action, or the fact that there's a court case pending, that sort of thing. We find it increasingly difficult getting folks into court for various reasons. When we do have a court date, it's often that they don't show up, or they ask for an extension, or sometimes they'll send a lawyer without themselves, and the lawyer will ask for extensions. We had that recently. The reality is people don't have to open their mail, accept their mail. They don't have to accept certified mail. We've gone to court, and it was determined the person wasn't served. We start the whole process over again. So we demoed the house on West Main Street. that was something that I started back in 2018. And then we can't get to court, so I move on to other things, and it kind of gets dropped. Now, fortunately, Dawn stays up with it. You know, one of the things that you saw, I believe in the consent agenda, or you're going to see here, is we received payment of $5,000, and this was a penalty for somebody who wouldn't tear their garage down. In the end, we finally got them to court. They tore the garage down and they paid the penalty. In all of my years, that's never been done, so I guess it can work, but. So we come across issues with certain homeowners when we've told multiple times. And the reality comes back that they just don't have the financial resources to paint their house, fix a car that's been sitting there, mow the grass, whatever. Or some don't have the mental capacity to perform these tasks, let alone the ability to understand these items need to be completed per code. So when our general rule is we'll reach out to them 3 times, then we give up, and then we send it to Mr. Smino's office. Sometimes the folks will correspond with us, and they simply say, we don't have the money. You can fine us all you want. I don't have the money. I'm not going to pay it. So it brings us back to, what do? We want action. We don't want to fine these people. It doesn't do us any good to fine them. So charging them doesn't work because they have no means to pay it. You know, and some of these folks we see are just surviving day to day. They're late on their water bills or utility bills, don't have garbage service. And these are some of the worst cases. And sometimes it's one simple letter and they say, okay, I'll cut my grass, and they cut the grass. Or got my mower fixed. We hear every excuse you could possibly imagine. But something I'd like to further discuss in the future is council setting a fund aside to assist with small projects to help homeowners, such as a $5,000 project. Other programs that are offered have a much higher dollar figure. And some of these folks either don't have employment or don't fit that employment criteria or income criteria, or they're not looking for a $50,000 project. They just need maybe help fixing a fence, painting, removing a dead tree, that sort of thing. Obviously not something we're going to fix tonight, but it's definitely something that would help out for sure. Next year's plan, I intend to complete the widening of West Main Street, providing the 3 utilities will actually relocate. Verizon, Crown Castle, and Time Warner. Time Warner doesn't exist anymore, but Spectrum acquired their assets. Crown Castle is a conglomerate. When I did the research, there has been 4 purchases to get the Crown Castle with different fiber companies. Very, very large company, multi-billion-dollar company from what I understand, so.
And they're on the polls right now?
Yeah, and,
They are.
yeah, so to get them to show up, it's not easy. We want to complete the Chestnut Street Lift Station piping project and possibly turn it into a construction project. Begin the design of the headworks of the wastewater treatment plant in EQ Basin. The 2 will tie together, so that's why maybe we'll turn it into a project next year. If not, we're going to be looking for funding also. The street department on Oakwood Street needs facade improvements. Jason had some money set aside for either windows or lentils, things like that. Obviously, we did the roof. There's some foundation work that needs done on the back corners also. We've been working on getting the property split. Hopefully within the next month, that will be approved. The survey's done. It's sitting on my desk. I have to get with Mr. Smino to basically pass it on. I would like to do some downtown streetscape improvements. We have some streetlight poles that need to be replaced. The pole boxes in the sidewalk need to be replaced. Some of the bricks in the streetscape needs lifted and worked on too. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I have a question. What would you say when you were talking about the property maintenance issues? I know a couple of them that I've called you on that do have severe mental health issues. And those two both are homeowners. And it's hard to only help them to so much because we can't make them seek the help. But I will say you guys have offered and, reached out to services to help with some of the issues. But with the amount of people that you guys are dealing with, what would you say the percentage is, if you know, that are actual homeowners or rentals? How many are the habitual?
Most of them are homeowners. The renters, we would go straight to the landlord, and most generally, the landlords step right up.
But is your complaints that you're getting, that you're receiving and getting calls on, are those homeowners or are those renters?
It's both. That would be both.
So but the ones that when you drive by and you seek out, like as you're just looking in areas, those are usually the homeowners?
Those are the
Okay.
ones that we have a difficult time communicating with. Again, the landlords are generally very responsive. Most landlords feel it's their investment and they don't want this activity. And we've worked with landlords who ask us to condemn properties because of a renter that's hoarding, and generally, I've not come across a landlord that wants that to happen, so, we'll work with them.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from council?
Mr. Finney, the SCADA contract that had that routers or servers in it, who put that bid package together?
The contractor that's been maintaining the system worked with Bill Brigant and put the specifications together.
I guess my question is, if we had such a large thing in there and we didn't recognize it till we were going to bid, is there a possibility that there's some other things in there that
Yeah,
we should not have in there?
Yes, yeah, we believe we've ironed out the issues.
Okay, so the rest,
That's why I've delayed the bid twice. We've had a couple of meetings with the contractors and let them ask questions. What I didn't realize was Jonathan Bender was not involved. And once I started receiving these questions, I got him involved, and that's where we started fixing these issues.
okay.
Other questions? Thank you. Always say, well, you're here.
Yeah.
So, but I always like to ask, if there are any things that council can do to improve how you do your job, let us know. And you will, because you always do, so probably goes without saying, but we deep gratitude for all the things you do. Thank you.
You kind of just did a little bit. You told us about, setting
right.
aside a fund. So, and also I want to say thank you because I did hear you ran into our police chief and you did bring up again about some stuff that we had talked about as far as the building department and the police department working together more as far as with the programs we have. And both you and the chief seem to be on the same page with that. So I think by that, happening and being able to access what's going on with, if they're getting the same calls and you're already at that house for, property violations, I think it's a better chance for us to enforce our chronic nuisance as well, especially if it is a rental. So thank you for that. I appreciate all the hard work you guys do.
Okay, so last month, I believe we did not have a city official, so tonight we actually have two. So Heather Wachowski, if you could come up and give us your report from Human Resources, we greatly appreciate that.
Hi, I'm Heather Richkowski. I've been the HR director for about 8 years now for the city. I interact with all of the departments, department heads on personnel issues, contract interpretation, recruitment, retention, benefits, employee development. Actually, that last one, employee development, is probably one of my most favorite parts of my job. One of the recent initiatives that we did was helping develop training for the department heads, supervisors, and also their employees on understanding their communication styles, how to communicate more effectively in the workplace. And this is and has been an ongoing development module. It's utilizing DISC, it's utilizing strength finders, making positive assumptions, among some other methodologies. So that's been well received, and I've done some follow-up trainings on them as well as department heads have asked for. Other updates just from the past year or so: payroll ordinance, chapter 260. I see Rob Karras smiling. Policies and procedures handbook. These were significantly updated and overdue in the past year. And this will be an ongoing annual review, but this past year was a much bigger undertaking. Both Dr. Kelfie and Mr. Karras were involved in that, along with Tammy and I. I'm also pretty involved with benefits administration, and we are coming up on renewals, so that's about to get very busy. We also have a healthcare committee that has employees from different departments and unions that review and make recommendations on healthcare options. This is an advisory committee, but they bring really good ideas, and they look for cost-saving initiatives, not only for themselves as employees, but also for the city perspective. A couple of initiatives that we've had recently, we have something called a Smart Shopper program that we just started this last May. And this is where employees can basically become healthcare shoppers for themselves. And it's using an app, and it's an organized program through Medical Mutual, and it is, coordinated through Fidelity, I guess. Employees, if they need something like an MRI or a high-cost healthcare item, instead of just going to the doctor that says, hey, go to this place to get it, by going on this app, they can see all the places locally where they could get this. And it's amazing how one place might be $2,000 and another place might be $700 for the exact same thing. And when they use this app, they're going to save on our overall healthcare cost, but they also can receive some incentive back by using that for themselves. Another one of our healthcare initiatives that we put in place, we'll be going into our third year now, is our wellness program. Employees can get a reduced cost sharing by participating. We are seeing more employees engaged in this. They can, by doing their annual physical, doing their blood work, doing a health online assessment, they can get early detection on really serious health issues and get treatment before it becomes even more serious. So, number one, that's much better for our employees because they're staying healthier, but it's also reducing our overall cost. I also manage the workers' comp plan. I work with employees and their healthcare providers for them to return to work as quickly as possible. I do expect benefits to be a hot topic this year, in particular as we move into collective bargaining. It is a contract year, so we have all 5 collective bargaining contracts expiring December 31st of this year. 3 in police, 4 patrol, sergeant, and dispatcher, 1 fire, 1 AFSCME. We have started working on scheduling those meetings in the next couple weeks. We'll start with that with our healthcare renewal process. They're going to be a part of the healthcare committee since we are negotiating this year. They can present changes that they'd like to see, hear from our healthcare brokers on the trends that are out there and bring some of ideas that they'd like to see as we get more into that because they negotiate their health care benefits. I'll be very engaged in negotiations this fall along with the mayor, finance, and the associated department heads. Part of my position also is being the secretary of the Civil Service Commission. I coordinate with them on various hiring and recruiting initiatives for civil service tested positions, which for us are all the safety forces in the city, fire, police, and dispatch. Most recently, the commission has worked with Jonathan Downs on drafting our home rule civil service rules for the city. Our charter allows us to have our own rules so we can get some things that are a little more customized to what we want in our hiring. So we've been working on drafting and rewriting these for the past year. We did have a draft, I think in 2008 from Jonathan Downs that never actually got moved forward. So that's been our biggest project is redrafting that, and we'll have that presented to council probably in the next month or so. On the civil service hiring, we moved a few years ago to an online civil service testing format. We used to have, for entry-level positions, for police and fire, an actual in-person test where we would advertise that and do that maybe a couple times a year. The problem with that was we weren't getting a lot of candidates for it. It's already been reduced in just the amount of people that want to become police officers or firefighters, especially police officers, but we've seen a reduction in both of those. And when you would have an in-person test, if you have a really good candidate, they get called into work or they have some other emergency, they miss the test, we miss out on them and have to wait for either the next test or another city has another test coming up and we lose them to someone else. So we went to what's called the National Testing Network. It is an online testing forum, but they do their actual test at proctored locations that are all around the area. So we're using ones that are mostly in Portage County. And then their test scores get uploaded. They can choose the municipalities that they want to apply to. We get all of their information. Periodically, I'll download all the applicants. The Civil Service Commission will certify those lists, and then we can present those to the chiefs, and they can make their way through all of those candidates. So we have seen an increase since we started using that, especially just prior to going to that service when it was really bad. We might get 5 or 8 people that would show up for an in-person test where we're paying a service to come in and present this. And it's a lot more advantageous to be using the system that we are now. I really like it. We do still utilize a service for doing our promotional testing, so which we're going through right now with the police department, the chief retiring, and then having to backfill the chief, and then the captain, and then the sergeant, so it just keeps flowing. So we use Clancy for that. We're really happy with them. We'll actually be done with the police promotionals. September 15th is the last test for that, and then back in business. For recruiting, I coordinate with all the other department heads as their openings happen. We did recently make an offer to a new Parks and Recreation director, so with Judy retiring, we have a new one hired. I'll be sending out an introduction on him. He'll be starting next Monday, so we'll have lots of opportunity to welcome that new director. One thing I would like to do in the recruiting area is get an applicant tracking system for candidates to apply through and do all their onboarding documents electronically instead of the very paper-intensive system that we have right now. I've been talking with Jonathan Bender about some of the different options that we might have for that, but I would really like to see us move forward on getting that. finally, I'm in local, county, and Ohio-based government HR groups. We share ideas, we share resources, we share policies, training opportunities. We help each other with recommendations. We participate in pretty frequent wage and benefit surveys. Helps us stay competitive as well as staying practical in what we're wanting to offer. So that's about all I have for now.
I have a question for you.
All right.
Approximately what percentage of employees take advantage of the health wellness program that you mentioned?
I'm trying to remember last year. Do you remember, Tammy? 40 last year. Yeah. A third? Between a third maybe and close to 40%, just about. We're already seeing trending a little bit more this year than last year. It does end the end of September, so that we have time to gather all the information and let employees know what their new rates are going to be, because the renewal starts in January, so we have a couple months there for Medical Mutual to gather everything, so employees can go all the way up until September 30 to do their physicals, and then it takes a little time to get all that information in. But we have seen an increase year over year in just the first 2 years that we've had, and I've had more employees this year that have said, I didn't do it the first year, I really should have. I didn't do it this year either, I'm so sorry, and saying, but now I see that I really should be doing that. One of the ways that employees can save on that is if they're on Plan A, which I'd say more people are on Plan A, which is the higher cost plan. If you're on that and you have the family plan and you participate in the wellness, you're getting about a $600 savings a year in your healthcare contributions. And not only that, but if you're finding a significant healthcare issue, then you're getting treatment a lot faster.
A couple questions, Mrs. Richkowski. Of the 40 that are participating in that health care, that's out of a pool of how many employees in the city?
95 or so that are on healthcare. Yeah,
About 100. Okay. Other question is, you let us know about in the police department, we're having to move some people up to fill the captain's position, and you filled the Parks and Recreation position. At this present time, how many open positions do we have that are unfilled in the city?
We have, I think, one service worker left in the street department, one general laborer, but I've just sent them over probably 40 or 50 applications from the postings I have. They're interviewing some of those right now. And then I'm about to repost the part-time safety compliance officer. So I'm working with Mike Reynolds on updating that job description, and we'll have that. Don't think there are any others right now.
You know, a year or so ago, we had quite a few openings in streets that we were trying to fill up, and in some other places. Is right now is this about the best shape that we've been on having positions filled in the last couple of years?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah, thank you. And that's a good job on that because there were a number of open positions.
Yes.
Final question on that proctored locations for the civil service tests around. What's an example of a couple locations where they're doing that?
Some of them have been at other police departments. One of the ones I looked at today was at a sheriff's office.
Okay.
Where they did that. They have utilized some schools.
Okay. So you have a number of places.
Universities, yes. There's a number of them.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? Well, I think we all recognize that, you know, in addition to cutting across all of the departments in the city, it can be a challenging job. We're dealing with people and emotions and things like that. I'm glad to hear you have these professional development opportunities. I think they're great, especially, you know, some of the leadership things. I've always tried to enjoy those in my career, and I've always found them extremely worthwhile. So I encourage you to keep doing that. And I'll make the same comment I made to Mr. Finney. If there's anything council can do to help you do your job better, to help human resources perform better, don't hesitate. Please let us know. I mean, that's really what we're here to do, is to, not just help the residents at large, but the employees and people who work in our cities. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
And I have, and I'll tell you, every time I have asked for any help or guidance or ideas on things, you all always step up and are very helpful. So I appreciate that too.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is report from committees. Committee meetings will start at 6 p.m. on September 8th. They might start a little later, and we'll talk about that under new business. The first report is from Utilities. Mr. Moskin, glad to see you back.
Thank you very much. At this time, there will be one topic on the agenda for next week.
Okay. Information Systems, Mr. Maravich.
I don't think we're planning on a meeting.
Okay. Planning, Ms. West.
We will be having a meeting.
The committee of the whole will be Monday, September 22nd at 6 o'clock. Public Health and Safety, Ms. Michael.
I have one item tonight on the consent agenda, and to be determined, I won't be here next week.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be out of town. So I won't probably be able to have a meeting unless, if something needs to come in front of Public Health and Safety, Mr. Harper can handle it. If not, we can always do it at another, maybe before. Well, no, we really can't. I'll probably just have all the information passed to Mr. Harper.
Just to remind everybody, you don't have to have your committee meeting
I
the
know.
same night as everybody else. If you wanted to have
Yeah.
it before Committee of the Whole or something like that, we could certainly arrange that.
Yeah.
Or
It
you could
depends
do
on
what Ms.
what
Wood's
comes up.
doing and can
Yeah.
meet us virtually.
So it depends what comes up, but
Okay. Thank you. Streets and Sidewalks, Mr. Harper.
Excuse me. Nothing for consideration this evening, but we will be having a meeting, committee meeting.
Personnel, Dr. Calfee.
No committee meeting.
Okay. Community and Economic Development, Ms. Wood.
I would say to be determined, and I will not be there unless it's virtually next week.
Okay. Cemetery, Mr. Moscom and Ms. West, do you have anything to report?
I'll just say that Mr. Finney had covered what needed to be covered.
Oh, with regard to the bridge?
Yes.
We didn't have a meeting in the month of August, so.
Okay, do we have a report for Parks and Recs from Mr. Maravich?
We do have a couple categories to cover here. Regarding staffing, we're happy to announce that Chris Bundy has accepted the position, and he starts on the 8th, and Judy's last day will be the 5th. Regarding facilities, some of this has been discussed a little bit, but carpets through the building have been cleaned. As Bob mentioned, the roofs on both the annex building and the garage have begun that exciting work, much to the chagrin of your ears. The bike and hike trail requires some repairs at the S-curve between Chestnut and Freedom due to railway construction. Dominic from engineering has been assisting in the process, and it's slated to cost an estimated $31,936. Regarding parks, there's a conditional land appraisal for the adjacent Emerald Lake land preservation parcels that's been scheduled. City Park has scheduled tree maintenance for the trees bordering Beach Street by the church. Regarding programs, the pickleball demo was held on Friday, 8/22, and on Saturday, 8/23. And all the fall programs are open for registration. A couple of gymnastics classes are already full. Regarding grant funding, we've submitted a request to the Ravenna United Fund to support the purchase of the safety town floor covering and the land purchase for Emerald Lake Land Preservation Phase 2 via the Ohio Public Works Commission. Judy's also sent over a note that she'd like to share with the guys here. I'd like to extend my gratitude to the members of City Council, especially Mayor Seaman. Your support over the past 7 years has allowed Parks and Rec to achieve significant milestones, including doubling our land acquisitions, increasing revenue, and expanding events and programming. With the dedication of our current staff and the leadership under the new director, the future of Ravenna Parks and Recreation looks bright, and I wish you all continued success and the very best always. Judy. And that concludes my report.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is ordinances on first reading. The first ordinance is ordinance number 2025-86.
85.
85?
Didn't we take that out?
Oh, you want to do that first? It's actually 83, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, we'll do 83 first,
Oh, okay.
since that will keep us in numerical order.
An ordinance accepting a proposal provided by Love Insurance Agency, a copy of which is attached here too and marked Exhibit A, for the renewal of insurance coverage for the period of September 15th, 2025 through September 14th, 2026, and declaring an emergency.
This was presented to us by the Finance Director, Ms. Lawrence.
Yes, we have a meeting on Thursday. We were not able to get everything together before today, so we do need to approve this before the 14th. 15th is the first day of the new renewal year, so if we can schedule that in this next week, working with Mr. Karras to do that.
So we will keep this on first reading since we don't have the contract. And just to give you a preview of our new business, we'll ask for a vote to have a special meeting a week from, Monday.
Yep.
We'll get to that later. All right, everybody okay with leaving it on first reading?
Yes.
Then we will now proceed to ordinance number 2025-86.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to apply for and accept the Ohio Public Works Commission Clean Ohio Conservation Grant Fund and to accept the grant if awarded and declaring an emergency.
Okay, I believe this did not go through the committee process, so it's being sponsored by the Committee of the Whole. And you've all got in your packets the next couple of items or ordinances related to purchasing this land through a grant. Shouldn't cost us any money. It's contingent upon getting the grant. And so we'll go through these various ordinances. There is a deadline, and so this was kind of sent to us rather quickly. And one of the reasons it couldn't go through committee process, otherwise it would have gone through planning as it usually did. And this did appear a year ago, and we had some discussions, but there were various aspects of it that made it difficult for us to apply in time. So we're going to give it another try this year. Anybody have any questions? And this first ordinance is just authorizing the mayor to apply for the grant. Questions, concerns?
I have no questions.
Okay, hearing none, do we have a motion to waive the 3 separate readings?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Mr. Kelfy?
Yes.
Ms. West?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Do we have a motion to adopt the emergency clause?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Mr. Kelfy?
Yes.
Ms. West?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
And do we have a motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved?
Second.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Mr. Kelfy?
Yes.
Ms. West?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
The fond memories of the pandemic when everything had a little latency and delay before the votes. Okay, anyway, that ordinance is passed. The next ordinance is ordinance number 2025-87.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to sign a non-binding agreement to purchase additional properties adjacent to Emerald Lake through the Clean Ohio Grant and declaring an emergency.
So this is the second ordinance regarding this project. This is just to allow the mayor to sign the non-binding agreement contingent upon us getting the grant to purchase the property. Questions or concerns about this? Okay, do we have a motion to waive the 3 separate readings?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Ms. West?
Yes.
Mr. Kelfy?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes.
Do we have a motion to adopt the emergency clause?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Ms. West?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes.
And do we have a motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Ms. West?
Yes.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes.
That ordinance also stands approved. The next ordinance is ordinance number 2025-88.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to sign a contract with Neil Hess as the dual agent in the sale of properties through a land acquisition grant and declaring an emergency.
So in this case, and this is the final ordinance for this project, as in the past when we purchased the first property at Emerald Lake, Mr. Neil Hess is our agent, but he's also the agent for the seller. And so that requires us to sign off to approve him in both capacities, or at least acknowledge that he's acting in both capacities. Anybody have any questions about this ordinance?
Rob,
Yes. Did I miss something?
yes, just in addition to that, because he is representing the seller first, he is representing the seller's interest first, and he is just representing the city on facilitating the paperwork, but he is representing the seller first.
Good point. Thank you for pointing that out. Any other comments or questions? Do we have a motion to waive the 3 separate readings?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. West?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes.
Do we have a motion to adopt the emergency clause?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. West?
Yes.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes.
And a motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. West?
Yes.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes.
Okay, that ordinance stands approved. The last ordinance on first reading is ordinance number 2025-90.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to sign a certificate of release of judgment lien for the city of Ravenna as it relates to the property located at 323 North Prospect Street, Ravenna, Ohio, 44266, for the sum of $5,000 and declaring an emergency.
This was also a late arrival with an endorsement from members of council. And I think this is what Mr. Finney was referencing during his report, the fact that we actually are collecting money for fines, I assume, that were assessed by this property. And a lien was placed against, I guess, the property tax with the county. So the payment has been made, and now this is to release the lien, remove the lien. Is that correct? Satisfy. Good legal term. Any questions or concerns about this? Do we have a motion to waive the 3 separate readings?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. West?
Yes.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes.
We have a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Ms. West?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes.
And a motion to approve the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. West?
Yes.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes.
Okay, that ordinance stands approved. Next item on the agenda is ordinances on second reading, which we have none, and we also have no ordinances on third reading. That brings us to old business. Do we have any old business to come before council tonight?
I do have a quick question on old business. Something that I wanted to bring up as a result of money that is owed to the city that does get transferred on to their lien, as far as their past due water bills, as an example. We've encountered a situation, and I can say that I think this is old business because it's not new business. But again, I think that this should be changed and relooked at. But if somebody has not paid their water bill and they owe, say, thousands of dollars and they're homeowners, it gets put on there as a lien, a tax lien, correct, Bob?
Yes.
Once that happens, they can go back and get water again and have their water turned back on because they are back at a zero balance. So I didn't know if council was aware of how this works, what council thinks about this. And I guess I could also put this back on, it can also fall under new business too, if this is something that we would want changed. Because again, you know, who's to stop somebody from doing this and how many times can they do it? I don't think that it's right that people can, you know, get away with not paying their bills and then turn around once it's wiped off and turned over as a lien to have their water bill back on again. So I don't know if Mr. Finney wants to comment on that, but this is one of the ones that they have an habitual problem with too.
Yes, so in August, the liens are submitted to the county. You know, to your example, if the city shuts that resident off in February, they cannot get water turned back on until the lien has been settled. So I understand what you're saying. There would be a waiting game. I mean, we could say in September, if it got shut off, they would have to wait almost a full year for it to go on their taxes. And there's a good chance they're not paying the property taxes either at that point. It would take a policy change in Chapter 10, utility chapter, or an ordinance to change the policy as it is currently. You know, we would like to be able to shut water off for various reasons, but our ordinances don't allow it. And I know there's a level of protection for the residents also and the customers, so.
Well, and we did, a few years back, make the obligation on the landlord. I mean, there's some equity issue if the landlord's not paying to shut off water for a tenant who's paying their rent. Also, and maybe this is a question for Mr. Semino, I mean, just because when the lien goes in place, it may be true that their balance with the city is cleared, but that lien will always be money coming to the city, whether it's that homeowner or some future homeowner that buys the property.
Right.
They'll have to settle. So, I mean, I think that may be the justification why we kind of make clear the slate, that because we know we're going to get the money eventually someday. But I think the point's well taken that that might not be the best way to go about doing this.
If it goes to sheriff's auction, all liens are wiped out.
Yep.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
that
We
may be
lose a
one
lot
the
of money.
loopholes.
I
Yeah.
think Ms. Wood has a comment over this too.
Oh, yeah. Ms. Wood.
Yes, this is something that I've questioned several times over the last couple of years. Our monthly reports, if you look at the delinquency amounts, I believe it's 120 days or over, it averages typically around 75,000. Now, in the last month, it went up to 85,000. And this is something that I've said, how do we have delinquencies to this extent? And we do have some that get wiped out by adding on to the taxes, but there's something missing. We shouldn't be that high on our water usage delinquencies at that far past due. Yes, when somebody buys a property, the delinquent water and sewer goes with the property, and it has to be paid through closing.
Right.
If it's a foreclosure, if it's an auction, then the buyer basically assumes that obligatory situation. But any other situation, it comes out of seller proceeds and gets paid through closing. But why are we at this point? And how do we stop it from getting so high? What I would like to see is I would like to see a breakdown of that delinquency amount in the 120 days or over. Do we have the same property owners? Is it businesses? Is it residents? How do we come up with $75,000 to $85,000 in delinquency? I want to know who it is and how it got to that point, because it never should have gotten that high.
It sounds like that's a question for Mike Reynolds, am I correct?
I don't
So-
have
Can
that
we pass it
answer.
on?
I mean, it does create a little bit of a moral hazard situation where a resident could, for some while, keep going through that
Right.
process and abusing it, and the city doesn't get to collect any, potentially not any remediation from it, depending on how it results out. But also, it's an interest-free loan on debt that doesn't get paid. So I feel
Exactly.
like it's doubly troublesome.
The loans accumulate interest, or the liens?
No,
No, they,
And again, you're just, some of the, and if 9 times out of 10, if it's a homeowner and this is happening, there's a good possibility it's going to go to sheriff's sale. And the one I'm talking to is talking about has been a nightmare in the neighborhood and on our safety forces, on the building department, and there's a very good chance that this person is going to also be going to foreclosure. So her water just got turned back in, and now she's running a boarding house out of there. So again, it's a nightmare, and if this is a way we can stop some of this from happening, then she couldn't rent it out and have water supplied for her so-called renters that she's having now.
and another thing that, if there is bankruptcy, you can't touch utilities.
Yeah.
None of the utilities.
So it sounds like this is something for your committee, Mr. Moskin.
Yes.
Utilities. Maybe you ought to think about it and ask some of the city employees what avenue we can do to change how we do things.
I can make a phone call tomorrow.
Okay. Is that,
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to, like I said, it's old business, but yet it's kind of new business, so I kind of thought I'd bring it up under old business, so thank you.
all right, any other old business? Okay, under new business, I'd like to, since we have the issue with the Love Insurance Agency contract, and we have a timing issue, we can't approve it tonight, we don't have the contract, but by Monday, we will have the contract.
Yes.
So, now normally, when we have a special meeting, it's either me or the mayor signing, or it could be 3 council members. But what I'd like to do is have a vote on having a special meeting on Monday, September 8th at 6 o'clock before the committee meetings, just to dispense for, because I don't think it's going to take very long. The topic of the special meeting will be to vote on ordinance 2025-83, which is in substance the renewal of the insurance coverage with Love Insurance Agency. So would someone like to make that motion?
So moved.
Let's have a roll call, just.
Mr. Kelfi?
Yes.
Ms. West?
Yes.
Mr. Moskin?
Yes.
Ms. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Maravich?
Yes.
Ms. Michael?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Okay, so we, Gregor, if you could arrange for that special meeting, then we will have that on September. We don't really have to do anything else.
Will it be at
No.
6 or,
Let's make it, is that okay with everyone?
yeah,
Yes, 6 is,
rather than 5:30
That's our
before?
normal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 6 is fine.
I think it'll take how many minutes to,
Yeah, I'll send out the information
Yeah,
ahead of
and
time, so hopefully.
we'll have it in
Thank
advance.
you.
Okay, any other new business? Okay, seeing none, then next item is President of Council remarks. I really didn't prepare any remarks tonight. I am encouraged by the fact that Ms. Wood could join us tonight virtually. It's inspiring to know that our technology actually works from time to time. We had a little difficulty on the startup, but I appreciate it. I think it's an opportunity when people are not able to be here in person to take advantage of actually participating, so I appreciate that. So the next item on the agenda is council members' remarks. We'll start with Mr. Moskin over here.
I have nothing this evening.
Okay. Dr. Calfee?
No additional comments, thank you.
Ms. West?
Nothing this evening.
Okay. Ms. Wood?
Absolutely. I have a couple of different topics. First and foremost, I want to thank our fire department and our police department. As all of you know, my father passed away recently, and when they came to the home, tremendous, caring, just exemplary care to the family and to him as well. So thank you to our wonderful police and fire, which we all know do a great job, but I had a personal experience that was wonderful, and I want to thank them. Secondly, I want to thank all of you, as well as the mayor and all of our city residents and businesses, which were many: Guido's, Ravenna Sip and Social, West Main Street Winery, the Big Dog, several businesses that came out and supported the movie premiere for Divorcing the Mob. It was a great experience, a great show, and what a tremendous experience for our entire community. I hope everybody enjoyed it, but I just want to thank all of you for your support, because that meant a lot personally. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wood, and condolences on your relative passing away.
Thank you.
Mr. Harper?
No additional comments.
Ms. Michael?
Well, you know, I don't not say anything, so I'll make it rather quick because I know we're on a time thing here. But I just want to say that Mr. Harper and I had a really good meeting last week with the chief, also with, I don't know, is he the captain or the sergeant?
Promotions, I'm not sure right now.
Yeah, the head of dispatch and also either Officer Wilmington. So the two of us had a really good meeting. It lasted well over an hour, and we discussed some of the concerns that we have as council people and as with sharing residents' feedback. We talked about the electric scooters, communication to the schools in regards to that. We did find out that you are not allowed to be riding an electric scooter if you're under the age of 16. So you have to be at least 16 years of age to be on an electric scooter. So felt that it was really important to get that out to the schools. So parents, the school has two forms of information that they use to communicate with parents, and we felt that that was a great start to letting the parents know, hey, if you're planning on buying your child one of these, if they're under the age of 16, legally, they are not allowed to ride these. So our police are going to really start checking some of this stuff out, figuring out ways to handle this increase that's going on and a safety hazard that it's causing to motorists and residents in neighborhoods. So, it's something that's changing times. And again, we've had some scary experiences that some of our residents have faced. So we are, trying to find some ideas and looking at the ORC and ways around, to do this. So we had a really good meeting with that, and also talked about dispatch, talked about some of the areas that maybe the police department could grow in, and possibly I might be bringing some things to council because, again, times are changing and needs are much bigger in a lot of areas than what we actually realize. So, and as I mentioned to Mr. Finney, getting that tie together with the building department and the police department is only going to be stronger and help cleaning up our neighborhoods. So I had a really good experience. So I just want to say thank you for them to opening up time to spend with us. And I definitely, Ms. Wood said it the best, having the opportunity to attend the premiere, just really reemphasized, why I know Ravenna is blooming and we're doing well, and all the people that came out and all the local businesses that really supported that, and the community pride that showed that night. So it was well put on. Our local businesses did a great job in showing support, and I'm not surprised because every time they always come through. So we really do have a good small community that takes care of each other. So I just want to encourage you, some of our small businesses in town need a little help. I don't know on a lot of our people, when's the last time you actually maybe got out of your car and went in and bought a coffee, bought a tea, stopped in the new bookstore that opened up. It's absolutely adorable. Very well done. I think that's a great new store in our downtown that's going to do well. I know I ran into, I saw Mr. Seaman as I was leaving, and when I talked to him afterwards, the ambiance that the Pocket Park and the bookstore and the people surrounding it and people eating pizza outside, it was a really nice feeling to see all that come together. So again, just remember, these small businesses need each and every one of us to get out and support them. So they can't stay open. We can get them to come in, but if we want to support them, it takes all of us to go in and purchase something. So that's all. Thank you.
Ms. Michael, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
You mentioned scooters. Are you referring to e-bikes?
No, electric scooters.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure, because there was a discussion about e-bikes.
Yeah, we talked about all of it, but the
Okay.
scooters, you cannot be under the age of 16.
Okay. Good, thank you.
Motorized scooters.
I think that was related to House Bill 291 from a while back when DeWine signed that. It was a thing about communities and scooter companies, kind of like the ones you see around Kent.
Oh, yeah, the one, yeah.
A little bit of regulation for that.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Michael. Mr. Maravich?
No comments.
No comments tonight. Okay. Then the next item on the agenda is the mayor's remarks. Mayor Seaman?
Just a few brief remarks. First of all, I'd like to thank Bob and Heather for being here tonight. They're an example of most of our employees. We have very dedicated employees. And I am always happy when people come to me and talk to me. I say we are successful because we have good people. And, it's been my goal from the beginning to change the atmosphere. That this is a place where sometimes we have to say no, but we can do it without being obnoxious, with those sorts of things. But these two folks, I really appreciate the effort. I work with them daily, and they're very good at what they do. You've already mentioned the bookstore. I did receive a letter today that I opened up that came from Florida. And it was a lady who was trying to solve a problem with her daughter's housing. She called and got, last week we had our substitute answering the phone. And she gave the message to her, and she said, well, who do I have to talk to? And she sent them out to Bob's and Don. It was an issue at her housing. And she could not believe how well she was treated and how quickly they responded to what she was talking about. We don't always hear that from folks. We hear when something isn't working, but there are a lot of people out there, and this one in particular was appreciative enough to write a letter from Florida to commend those people that were involved with that. Thank you. I'm good.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. All right, then We have nothing else on the agenda. Can we get a motion to adjourn? And by the way, we will be returning with a special meeting. We'll take a short break, and then we'll start up again. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
We are adjourned.